Hi, everyone, and welcome to Summer School. Today, we are here with a very fun, super exciting episode. I met the people from the vendor table, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a second. Back at Build, oh my gosh, what was that? Like May? I have no idea at this point. But Michael and Lauren literally loved them, had drinks, and we were just like chatting and ranting. And I was like, you guys have to come on the podcast. We have to make this happen. So, flash forward to now, they're here, and this is going to be a fun one. So, stay tuned. But I don't know who wants to go first, Michael or Lauren, one of you. Tell me a little bit about, I want to know about you guys as an artist individually and the vendor table, how maybe it started for people who don't know. But yeah, take it away, whoever wants to go first.
Ladies
Mike, you wanna-
first, Lauren.
Oh, okay. Hi. I'm Lauren O'Brien. I've been a full-time wedding photographer since 2016. I have a background in painting, and
Fun.
I started in photography because I was using photos as references for my paintings, and I ended up liking it more. And after my first wedding, I mean, nobody grows up like thinking that they're no photographer really thinks that they're gonna be a wedding photographer. They want to be artists, right?
Because wedding photographers aren't artists.
No, not at all, obviously, if you ask anyone. But yeah, so I ended up diving into the wedding world because I needed to make money. And then I ended up really falling in love with it somehow, some way. And now I am still an artist and also a wedding photographer.
I'm Mike Cassara. I've been a wedding photographer since 2013. Shot my first wedding. Went full-time in 2019. I was corporate, worked in the corporate world for around 9 years as a marketing communications manager. And I had like a very distinct route routes I could have went. I could have stayed on and been like a vice president of marketing or like, something like that. And I was on that path. And then like my business kind of like took off a little. I'd say around 2018 or so, I got like a really good review from a client in a brides group, and it catapulted me into, like a new conversation. Like prior to 2018, I was only doing like 5 to 7 weddings a year. Like it was a side hustle. And then in 2018, I got a review, and it presented me with the opportunity to go full time. Essentially, I booked, I think, around 20 couples in like 2.5, 3 weeks, and decided like, hey, I could do this. I could go full time. And 2019 was like kind of like the year I transitioned into being a full time wedding photographer, and been doing it ever since, which is crazy. And we formed the vendor table
At a vendor table.
So that's a little intro to that. But in 2022, Laura and I got to know each other like prior to that. Like I think through the COVID years and everything like that, we were just very fond of each other's work. Like we had similar styles then, like not so much now, like kind of still the same, but not like completely or anything like that. But we had we had a lot of respect for one another's work. And I don't remember who DM'd who. I believe Lauren slid into my DMs first, just like complimenting each other's work and getting to know each other through DMs. And then through the years, we got to know each other as friends in the industry and everything like that. And one day I was like, I need a second shooter for a wedding. I reached out to her. She was available. She had worked for like some studios at the time and everything like that. I knew her work was stunning. So we worked together. And I think we worked maybe one other wedding after that. We had like a good time. And she had said like,
It was the first wedding.
Was it the first wedding?
It was the very first wedding that we shot together. And I think it was at like Stonebridge.
Mm-hmm. Country club around here.
Yeah. And we sat down at our vendor table, and I like said to Mike that I'd always wanted to have a podcast, and I have so many things that live in my brain that I could talk about, and I could talk about for hours. But I thought in the photography realm, there are so many things specifically to talk about. And at that table, Mike said, well, could absolutely talk about so many things. And we started writing down just as like spitballing, not even like actually creating an idea of doing this thing, But we were just like, what would we talk about if we had a podcast? And we came up with maybe like 35 to 50 things then and there in our 20 minutes at this vendor table. And then a couple days later, I think Mike was like, we should do this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not a half-ass person either. So like, I was just like, okay, we could do it at home. We could do it. Like, we get the microphone. I had a microphone at the time, like a blue microphone. And I had got during COVID because I thought about doing a podcast and everything like that and streaming and doing all this stuff. And, but I was just like, I with a marketing background, I was just like, hey, like, we would have good conversations. And I was just like, we should really put a little effort behind this if we want to do it. So we reached out to our friend Matt, like Matt Rodriguez, who has a studio here on Long Island with his wife Jenna, silent capture photo. They're incredible, they're incredible husband and wife photo video team, and they have this beautiful studio. And Matt had done a lot of like commercial, like clients and corporate clients and stuff like that. So we reached out to him, like, "Do you ever do a podcast?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've done a couple of podcasts before and stuff like that." And we're like we would love to, come in and record and see, like how it goes and stuff like that. And so we set it up. I think it was in the winter of 2023. We recorded our first episode in like February of 2023. We sat down and we did 2 episodes. Episode 1 was like kind of an intro to the vendor table. Don't listen to it. It's trash.
It's terrible.
It's like we just didn't know
we
what we were doing.
did not find our groove yet.
Yeah, like we had no idea what we were doing. And like we went into it kind of like with like a blind, like no idea. Well, we're going to do education. Or we're going to just talk about trends. Like, what are you going to do? But episode 2 of that recording session, we talked about things we love and hate about wedding photography, mostly hate. And that episode, we talked about hot takes. We talked about presets. We talked about, location shooting and all this stuff. And we walked away from it and we were just like, that was pretty fun. Let's like maybe do a couple more. And I think the next session we recorded 3 more and we started putting the clips out there. And the thing why I wanted to do professionally is because I know social media would be the driving force behind anything to grow. Like, no one's just going to listen to a podcast with just like posting it on Spotify or Apple. Like, it's just not going to work. So you need social media behind it. And with Matt being able to do a 3-camera setup, pro audio, all this stuff, like film us and do the video, like we were able to then extract clips from the episodes, short form, and help plug the long form content. And we started posting clips like every other day, just plugging it out there. And then it just started growing. And
we had one like viral clip that like catapulted us into the sun.
What was the viral clip?
It was the one where the planner hung up a dress on one of the hotel sprinklers. And it just went nuts. And
3 million
follows
views.
kept coming. And how many followers did we gain that week?
I think 10,000 we gained that week. It went from I think we had a couple thousand just from our friends and everything like that, like, just being photographers and everything. And we grew to 10,000. And I just remember being like, what is going on? Like, this is great. We had to turn off alerts on Instagram. That was like the one thing I remember, like her and I was on a walk and you'd hear like, so-and-so followed you. So-and-so followed you. So, and I'd be like, we got to turn this off.
It's killing me.
And so it ended up growing. And now it's just 119 episodes later. Here we are. We've been doing this for a little over 2 years now, which is insane to think that we've gotten.
Because we didn't think it was going to last more than a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, we were just like, man, it'll be fun. It'll be like a fun thing to do. Like,
we thought it'd last like maybe 10 episodes because then we were going into wedding season. And then we got to like episode like 13 or 14 and we started seeing the growth and we're like, maybe we could keep this going. And we kept it going. We were losing money doing it.
Yeah, because we had to,
we paid for it.
Our own.
Yeah, we paid a lot of money to do the recordings and stuff like that. And like, we were paying Matt and to use his studio and to use him as a producer and everything like that. So, we were plugging away like almost like a good amount of change every month. And we're like, okay, we pretty much are going to run out of money at this point. And then all of a sudden we started blowing up a little bit, and we got sponsors, and that's where we are now. Here we are 2.5 years later, Lauren. We still
not two and a half.
Is
Well,
it
I
two and
guess
a half?
our
It's two,
friendship,
yeah.
our friendship.
Yeah. Well, the show is 2.5.
We started late in 2023, so
yeah.
I think our first episode was in March.
March. Yeah.
20.
Yeah. No, we're 2.5 years in.
Oh my God, we are 2.5 years in. What the fuck?
I wasn't lying. Lying.
Right. I just can't believe that we've been doing it for this long.
Do you ever worry with your kind of content that you'll run out of things to say?
Never.
Oh my God, Summer.
I bet a million people ask you this. I'm sorry. He's like, I've already heard this.
No, I thought you were going to ask us, do we ever get worried if like someone about our businesses for the controversial takes that we have? That's been asked to us like multiple times, but no one's ever asked us like if we'll ever run out of ideas, because no, never.
I'm like, I only have so many opinions. I mean, I guess if you get me talking with another person, like another co-host, maybe I would be like, yeah, we could talk forever. But yeah.
Well, that was, I think, one of the reasons why we gained some level of popularity, is because it's the two of us. And we have like very similar yet very different personalities at the same time. Like we're both, not that I even really care about astrology or anything like that, but Mike and I are born a week apart, a couple years apart, but we are both Aries with very stubborn and fiery personalities. But
we are completely different in so many areas. Like it's so funny to see that, like, because we just, like a lot of people like say this, but like you're a stereotypical Long Islander with an opinion. And like here in New York, like a Long Islander, a lot of us have strong opinions. And I think that's what makes the show kind of successful, is like we put our opinion out there, knowing that we're gonna get a little blowback. And like I've said this on a couple other shows, but like we have a rule, and the rule is like 70% agree, 30% disagree. So if we're gonna talk about something, it's okay to have people disagree with us. It's okay to have like, because that 30% that disagree is gonna engage the 70% that agree. And it's great to have conversation, and it's something that we weren't having in the industry. And like everybody, like I see a lot of shows and a lot of podcasts and stuff like that, they were afraid to talk about like the blunt topics, or like
the whole reason we started this podcast is because like there's a local Facebook group of brides and it's all so many people. So a big majority of it is just dogging wedding vendors. And like, it seems like all they're doing is out to get that person because they want some kind of freebie or they want a refund or whatever. And there's no opportunity for the vendor to stand up for themselves ever. And it seemed like it's so like there's no humanity for the wedding vendors in this industry. You're looked at like you're an object or a tool for somebody to use to get what they want. And we're people with feelings, and a lot of the things that we deal with go completely unnoticed by our clients. And that's why we wanted to talk about some of this stuff. And I don't know, it sounds stupid, but like being a voice for our community in a sense. Like, yeah, we have really controversial opinions, but so does everybody when it comes to their job.
Yeah.
So.
Man, on the topic you said though, that do you ever fear how it would go for clients to hear some of the opinions you have? Has that ever actually been a thing? Since you said lots of people ask you it, like, has something you've said ever actually ruffled a feather with clients? Because you guys don't only podcast, y'all still shoot weddings.
Has it happened to you, Mike?
Yeah, like early on, I think like we had an episode on like mom and dad Zillas that I told a story that like how I was like really severely mistreated. And like it was an anonymous story, so like like I talked about it, and it happened years ago, and everything like that. But like it ruffled feathers in that bride group, and like it was not well received from like people in that group. But my clients who are in that group went to bat for me and defended me, and like they were like, he's telling an anonymous story how he was mistreated, and like all you people are doing is dogging on him. and like it ended up actually working really well for us.
Worked in our favor.
Because it basically helped the business. I booked 5 weddings because of that. Because
Wow.
people are like, I loved your opinion and I loved like how, true you are about stuff. I didn't lose any clients. So you know what? Like you got to toe the line a little bit. Like we're not going to actively go out and dog our clients. Like,
Yeah.
like your wedding day sucked. Oh, you remember that wedding from so-and-so from a couple of years ago? Yeah, that was trash. Like
I can tell you, like with me, I had like a couple of instances. One is on April Fool's Day, one of my brides who actively listens to the podcast texted me and was like, I know that you really hate blurry photos, but I really want to have them in my gallery. And it would just like absolutely mean the world to me. I'm sorry to even ask. I feel terrible for asking because I know you hate it so much. And I was like, oh no, like that it happened, like one of my brides like listened to something that I said and they feel like targeted. And I wrote this whole response to her and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't want you to ever feel like something that you feel like you want is unimportant or anything. I'll do whatever you want. And she was just like, do you know what day it is? And I was like, you bitch.
Trolled by your own clients.
She got me so good, Maggie. And she knows, like she got me so good and she was fucking with me. And that's my kind of client.
Yeah.
So like, I've talked all the time about how I don't give a shit about sparkler send-offs anymore. I think they're stupid. I hate doing them. I'm tired of getting burnt. They're not as cool as everybody thinks they are. And I still have clients that listen to the podcast and like, hey, guess what? We're doing a sparkler send-off. Hope you love it. And they have a sense of humor.
So many do.
And don't take these things so seriously. If I had said like, so-and-so was a cunt of a bride, you know what I mean? Then yeah, I would deserve some backlash.
Yeah. There's a fine line between being opinionated and just straight up being rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like a lot of people in our industry look at our podcast and they think, oh, these two assholes, like who are they? They're not the authority on wedding photography. Slow down.
Yeah.
No one said we were.
No one
I will say
claimed
I was
that
a
we
little
were.
scared to meet you guys. I was like, oh no, what if
I remember you telling me that
they
in the
don't
taxi.
like me?
I remember you telling me that in the taxi. I was like, what, girl? Like, I was like, are you kidding? Like, because it's like so fun. That was so funny when you told me that because I was just like, oh my God, like, does she think I'm just like a loud New Yorker, like with a strong opinion kind of thing? And like, that's like, we come off, I think sometimes is a little intimidating, but at the end of the day, we are like, we really are. We care so much about our clients. We care so much about wedding vendors in general. Like we want wedding vendors to be able to talk freely. And that's why we invite so many vendors on the show to talk about like their side of the industry and like relay that stuff because no one has been doing that previously. It's always like bride centered. It's always like, love and light and all this stuff. But like no one talks about the gritty side of the industry, like the hard days, the long nights, the, tireless time away from your family and stuff like that. And sharing like the, how a wedding day isn't perfect. So like we want to talk about that more and more and show it's okay to fuck up. It's okay to have something not go your way. Talk about it, get better, and like share the story with others so they could relate to it.
Right.
That's what we love doing.
I think like it's the wedding industry, right? So there's so much like glamorization of it. And like it's almost taboo for a wedding vendor to say that they don't like a certain aspect of their job. Like, fuck that. I'm sorry. Like everybody has a job and everybody has a gripe with their job. And I feel like it's the only industry where people just don't actively talk about the hard parts because they always want to be like, I want your business, so you have to come to me. And like, I don't want anybody to think that I'm stressed out or there's something about this that I don't like. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's cool. The more open conversations we have, the more open I feel like the industry can be. Because even something recently, even I realized, well, it's probably cool for you guys that the vendor table is like separate of you while still being you. Do you know what I mean? It's like separate of your photography. Like, you know what I mean? It has its own name. Well, I was on Josh's podcast recently and he collab posted with some clip and I was like, I'm going to uncollab from that because I don't want my bride seeing it and I'm trying to keep mine like separate. Brides, grooms.
Yeah.
I don't want them seeing it. So it was not bad, literally at all, but you know me, I'm not as opinionated as you guys. And, it was basically how I mostly only offer, like, full day starting at full day coverage, and then I say, "Yeah, I don't think 6, 8, 10, 12-hour packages actually make any sense. It's just, like, what we're forced to do because everyone in the industry is doing it for sales. It's for, like, upselling a client, which isn't a bad idea. I just don't like it because it doesn't I don't know, that's not why I'm in the wedding industry." But anyways, I say that and, the comments are just I'm like, "Oh, I've never, like, been opinionated. This is intense." Um, the comments weren't bad, but it was just a lot of people obviously disagreeing, but a good bit agreeing, and I was just like, "Man, this is also the cool thing is that we like to think that we have to do what everyone is doing when people aren't having conversations about what they're doing differently or what they don't agree on or what they don't like." Like, I don't like having different day packages because I don't wanna shoot a fourth of someone's day, I wanna shoot their actual wedding day,
Mhm.
and I think there's probably a lot of people that align with that, but think there's no way to do it purely because of business and sales strategies that they've been taught and ingrained in because that's how the whole industry does it, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the hindsight of it was I still removed myself in the post, but the hindsight of it was like, man, it actually is cool that I had that conversation because without it, there was probably a lot of people thinking like me that you have to do it this, that, and this way. And you guys having your open conversations has probably opened so many people's minds up that like literally I think we get so like funnel visioned into what everyone is doing because it's so easy to know with Instagram and with Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's so easy to know how everyone else is running their business and thinking that you need to do it just like that.
Yeah.
So that was literally a long tangent of me saying, I like that you guys share opinions. They still scare me, but I'm trying to get more used to it because, like you said, it's good for the industry to realize it's just not that big of a deal. Like
Yeah.
you can run your business literally however you want to, and if you're getting paying clients, who cares?
I love seeing this side of Summer
Yeah.
because, like, I loved your because I'm an avid listener of Summer School, so I mean,
Me too.
like I do listen. And you did one about it was like controversial like opinions from
Oh
threads.
yeah, I just
A-
found things on threads. It's like when people read Reddit stories.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
we love doing that too. So I was like, I love seeing that side of Summer because it's cool, like to hear, like, because you are so well respected in the industry. Like you have such a following, and you have like all these like great students and all this stuff. But like sometimes like putting your opinion out there is so valuable because
Mhm.
people could even relate to you more.
Yeah.
Like they see like a little bit more. So I was like, it was really good to listen to that because like you're such a great educator, but at the same point, it was like so cool to hear your takes on things that on other
Yeah.
people's opinions. So like, keep doing that, girlie. I like it.
No.
I
Yeah.
also think like a lot of people may look at us because our delivery is so intense,
Yeah,
Mhm.
right? And we do that on purpose.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
It's not like we're doing it like that's, it's a play up. Of course,
and we
we're not.
clickbait, dude. Come
Oh
Of
on,
course,
yeah.
we're
like,
not screaming at people and each other like on our day to day life. No, we have like, I mean,
You know how
you're
to
not the
play the
first.
socials,
You're
you
not the
know?
first person who has said that they were like afraid to meet us because they think that we're gonna like rip them to shreds. Like we don't do that.
no,
um,
no. We're having a
so
conversation at a table, like where you're
even like
frustrated, like
yeah,
it's
it's like we worked a long ass day, and these are all the fucking things that we've had it with. At the
Mhm.
end of the day.
It's literally a vendor table. Like
Yeah,
you're on your feet
Yeah.
all day. You sit down and you decompress like for those 10 fucking minutes at a vendor table. Like at the like in the middle of the night, you're exhausted. And that's why it's a real vendor table. Like to us, it would be like the world slowed down and we are talking shit at a table, like just
Mm.
the two of us. And that's like what I think people love about it is it's relatable to so many wedding vendors.
and if it's not relatable, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What
Like, don't.
is
I
one of
think
your,
like
like, opinions that you feel like stirred the pot, like, maybe too much or maybe not too much, but, like, maybe do you have any you regret sharing?
no,
I
Not
love that.
really.
I love that.
Not
no.
I don't think I have
I
one
have no
that I really
regrets.
regret sharing.
That's
I have no
amazing.
Um
regrets. There was a point, um, where I had been going through a lot in my personal life at home. This is a very tumultuous year for Lauren O'Brien. But I remember we were getting whatever it was on one of our clips. I can't remember exactly which one, Mike, but you remember I had like a meltdown over like some of the negative comments that were coming through. And I was just like, I can't fucking look at this anymore. I think maybe it was after Zola.
Yeah.
After we had like Kate First from Zola on, and people
Yeah,
were
where we grilled that's what it was. We grilled them and people were like,
I don't even think we necessarily grilled them, and that's what they wanted. They wanted us to go at her so hard.
yeah.
But we asked these questions in a calm manner. It's not like we were.
And we pushed.
I haven't
too.
heard
pushed-
this episode. What happened?
We just asked, like about between
lead
the
transparency.
lead
and,
transparency, whether they had safeguards in place to protect from spam leads and
if
all
they were
these
sending
things.
fake leads, stuff like that. And
And there was like this mob mentality from the people that listened to us, as if we were these vendor vigilantes that were to take down all of these companies just because they were not getting the leads that they wanted. And we were asking her questions relating to Zola and how they approach things differently from other companies, right? And we're conducting an interview. We invited her into our home, and there's a certain level of respect that every guest on our show is deserved. You know? We're not going to sit there and flay her alive on the show or be rude or disrespectful. We're asking her questions and being respectful in the way that we're doing it, but while all still putting pressure on, like, to answer the questions that people really want and need to know. But some of the people were just like, oh, well, you may as well have rolled the red carpet out for her. And like,
we're like,
if you're
well, like,
upset
did you
with the
listen to the
company-
interview? Like, because we literally sat there and we're like, you don't have like offshore bot accounts, like sending fake spam leads. Like, okay, like, how can we know that? Like, how can we trust? Oh, we have, she's like, we only have like 100 employees at Zola. Like, she like gave us transparency on everything. And we were like, like, what are we going to do? Go to their headquarters and like evaluate the computers? We're a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, we gave them a platform to talk and to answer vendors'
and it takes
concerns.
courage to do that.
Yeah.
To come onto our show and speak to our audience who they feel like are being taken advantage of. And we felt like we did a good job. And there were some people who, and it wasn't that many. It really was not. But
no, it was like 10%.
It was just that day, it got to me so bad. Like, somebody was calling us ass kissers and all that stuff. And I was just like, that is the opposite of what we're doing. Like, we're trying really hard to do the
They're
right
being
thing by you
almost
all.
nice to you.
Yeah.
They're they're actually sweet people. And Lauren's like, no, this is not okay.
Yeah. It's crazy though. But like, I think like a lot of our stuff, like, is just very interesting. Like, that could trigger, like, it could trigger us sometimes, because we try not to look at the comments, because we get like 200 comments a post and like DMs, like we have, I don't know how many unread DMs we have and stuff like that. Like, we try to get to everybody. We hired an assistant, Lauren Tassi. She's incredible. That helps us out big time. But like, we really try to answer and talk, and we welcome others' opinions. That's the thing. We're not going to go out and block somebody for having a different of opinions as we do, because at the end of the day, you're entitled to your opinion. Like, the only time I think we've ever blocked somebody is when they like start name calling, or like they're just straight up assholes.
Even when somebody calls, like, somebody has called Mike like White Drake.
Yeah.
And
like,
we laugh about that. That's so funny. But I also remember like going through some problems with my ex-husband, and somebody said in the comments, like, that girl looks like she cheats on her husband all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
then you get
what
blocked.
the
that's
fuck?
intense. Yeah.
Why?
That's
like,
the only time we
why?
block people, when they get personal. Like, that's, and like, we didn't block anybody who call me White Drake. You call me White Drake. It's fine. Okay. I'm a Kendrick, I'm a Kendrick fan anyway.
we take so many things on the chin because we have thick skin, but every now and again, it is just the catch-22 of having a popular show and being out there.
Yeah.
It happens. And there are some times where I'm like, I have to shut off the internet for today, because I've had enough, and I'll come back with fresh eyes tomorrow and be just fine.
Yeah. I'm sure this summer, because you have such a following and everything like that. Like, you know, like I've seen, you know, like you've gone viral and everything like that. And like when you go viral, there's always the haters that come out of the
Yeah.
word just to hate
For no reason.
for no reason, just other than to hate. Like, and it's okay. Like, you know, like, but like, listen, if you want to grow a following, you want to be successful and stuff like that. And, you know, if you're chasing that, I don't know, that virality or that glory, I guess, which you shouldn't at the end of the day. But if it does happen, you need to have thick skin
Mhm.
because it's rough.
It's
I'm
rough
seeing
out
that.
there.
I'm seeing it right now. I had a clip go viral on my
Oh,
photography.
yeah? I was actually gonna bring that up.
You should see the comments on
He
Facebook.
hasn't
Oh,
stopped
girl.
talking about it all
no.
day.
Oh,
Shut up.
no.
You
I literally
shut
was
up.
about to be like, "Mike, so you recently went viral. Like, how's it going?"
It's great, but also like it has led to a lot. Like it has led to great business opportunity and stuff like that. But and Lauren and I had a talk about it this morning in the car. Like I was driving and running some errands and stuff like that. And I was we're gonna make a whole podcast episode probably about like, you know, going viral and the like the pros and cons and stuff like that. But what I saw was a lot of people love it, and oh my god, a lot of people hate it. So like you should see my Facebook comments. Like if you go on Facebook. It went viral on Facebook too. I didn't even know it was on Facebook because, you know, Instagram connects
Yeah,
to
like
Facebook
auto
automatically.
post or whatever.
Yeah. And I was just like, all the boomers are on there just being like, I don't get it. This is a death canoe and all this stuff.
Death canoe is crazy.
And I'm like, it's listen, man, I worked hard for that photo. But at the same point, I'm like my wife and I were reading the comments like to each other in bed last night, laughing about it. Because we're like, yo, thanks for the engagement, bro. Like, this is great. Okay. Like, so.
There's always going to be people who are just like negative to be negative. Like that's what brings them joy. We feel bad for those people. So sorry, but also thank you so much for the engagement. Like, thank you. You're driving this to
we say that
more
all the
popularity.
I
We say
remember
that
it
all the
being
time
a
on our clips.
canoe, but what was the context of the reel? Canoe, did photos flash at the end? Like, what was the context?
It was just one photo. It was like the hook on the clip was like when you 100% trust your photographer.
Yeah.
And it was like my couple laying down in a canoe and all that stuff. And it shows like the process, and we like pushed them out and everything like that onto like this lily pad pond. And I popped a drone up over them and I did a top down, looking straight down at the canoe. And people were like, you know, it looks like a funeral. There's like, I'd say 70%, like I want to say like 85% of the comments on Instagram and TikTok were overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
And then you go on Facebook and I'd say 85% are completely ripping me to shreds. So I'm like, okay, like it just shows the demographic, you know, like the boomers don't get it. And it's fun. At the end of the day, I was like, yeah, I'm proud of that shot. It was cool. I'm glad, like it did nothing but great things for my business. I'm seeing an incredible amount of like leads come through about that. Like influencers messaging me, like love to set up a photo shoot, things like that. So you know what? Cool. Like if it did its job, it's
the 80% on Facebook weren't your ideal client anyways.
No.
Yeah.
They're so close to death, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
They're already there.
What? Just saying. They should be worrying about their own funeral.
Yeah. Oh my God. Lauren.
What?
But no, girl, we like, you know, like this is cool because like, you know, like before we even met you at Build, I was such a fan of your fucking work. Like,
so kind. You're so
like,
kind.
like so fucking good.
You don't even understand. For like the entire train ride home, he was talking about how happy he was that he met you.
Stop.
I was like, yo,
I love you.
Dude, you're so good. You're so good. If anyone's like listening to her show and like you're not like you haven't checked out her, which why wouldn't you? But like you're truly an artist. Like I feel like I'm a good photographer. Okay. I don't feel like I'm an artist. Like I don't like you create shit that I'm like, yo, this is so fucking where your brain. Like you think of this stuff.
I love this conversation. I love where this is going because we shot a wedding together this past weekend and we were showing each other like our favorite art photographers to follow. And we were talking about like Mike was asking me why I invested in some of these like new light panels that like change color and all this stuff. And I was like, because I used to create art. Like that's what I did. And I feel like once I started making money off of photography, that's when I lost my art, and I want to be able to create it again. So I got some new lights to use at home to start doing more self-portrait stuff, which is how I really got into photography in the beginning. And we were showing each other like some of our favorite photographers and just fawning over it. And then he showed me that like it was a reel that you posted with the little fiber optic wand thingy.
Yeah.
And I was like, shut the fuck up, Summer.
Oh gosh.
Summer.
I need to do that again now that I actually understand like what I was doing when I took those photos and made that video. You know, like what is it? Like innocence is bliss or whatever that word would be, where like, you know, you almost like don't know any better. That's how I feel about some of my beginning photography work, where I'm like, oh, that actually wasn't that good because I actually didn't know what I was doing. But the idea was there. The artist was there. Even that reel, like still keep it pinned, which originally it was also because it was made for Jake's song he was releasing, so it has his audio behind it. So also I kept it pinned for that reason too. Like there was no plan on this going viral. We just took the photos for an album cover. And recently Instagram took down the audio because copyright or whatever, which is annoying. But now it's just this video with no audio. How much of a bummer. But anyways, now that I know the concept of like why it worked and like how it worked, it was still very hard. And I don't know that I'd 100% execute a ton better, but I would love to redo it. I kept thinking too, even when I was like pregnant or something, I'm like, be kind of fun to like redo these photos like in different seasons of life. This is just weird freaking picture, you know?
Yeah.
And I need to redo it again. I was cleaning the other day and found the little child toy, the fiber optics or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't fully understand. Like I think I understood when I took them how it was working, but I think I have more knowledge of light now, and I think I would take a better picture. But then again, it's a hard photo to take in general, especially by yourself. We had the camera on a tripod, like, you know,
Yeah.
freaking
But
hard, weird
but
thing
that
to
was
do.
art, dude. Like that was
Oh, you're
like,
too
you know,
kind.
like that's like what's cool is like we love seeing like I think we commented like on Fire and Ice's photo on the way to build. And we shared it. Like Fire and Ice posted like they're incredible.
The horse one?
Yeah, the horse one.
Oh my God.
And like just the mindset of photographers to capture a shot like that. Like that's obviously intentional, but not like, you know, it's unintentional, but
on
intentional.
the ground,
Like
far
just
away, shooting underneath a horse's
horse,
legs
yeah,
to
just
get this epic. Like
so
whose
cool,
brain?
man. Things like that.
I just
The right
love
lens
photographer
choice.
brains.
The right f-stop, the right lens choice, just the right timing for everything. And like you look at stuff like that, and I just there's so many incredible artists out there. I think you're one of them, Summer, that like are wedding photographers that use their art to elevate their own brand and their own like their own imagery. I feel like I'm a decent photographer, but I'm not an artist. Like so I love seeing like these artists that are just, oh my God, I just my jaw drops half the time. So like, keep doing what you're doing, girlie, because you're crushing it, crushing it.
Kind. You know, the weirdest part was actually that a lot of the stuff that did well was not couples or weddings, or it was just like weird, just weird. A lot of them were self portraits, like the fiber optics, and like one time I like glued moss to my body. I don't even know. Those are bad. We don't want to think about those. But it was just me like experimenting for the sake of experimenting. If you create weird stuff that people like, I got wedding clients because people saw it and they were like, we want something like that for our wedding photos. We don't want this like normal basic wedding image. And people used to want just like weird post, like strange. Like my stuff used to be weirder, like definitely used to be a little weirder than maybe it is now, which is fine. I'm like artistic in a different way now. I didn't have film. There's all these new layers now. The brand has changed, but even being weird brought me clients, and it wasn't even posting things that were couples. And I think so many people would be like, oh, you should only share your couples, you should be really niched. And it's like, no, just be you, and hopefully that is its own niche. Like make your own niche. You know, people think of Summer's style. I could be taking a photo of a single like an individual or a family or a wedding, and hopefully people would see it and they would all think, oh, that looks like Summer. Like hopefully in my mind, that's what I'm thinking, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd give more of that advice now. It's like, do whatever you want. And if it relates enough, I always say plenty of people can get booked for business, but if there's something that truly separates you and your work, then you're gonna get booked even maybe without as good of marketing or business because they're not gonna be able to get that anywhere else.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that because that's how I booked my first client. My first wedding couple was I used to love urbex photography, urban exploring.
Mm,
And I had a website and I had like a portfolio of some wedding stuff, but they had told me like the reason they loved my work was like the moodiness of like my urbex photos. And I
mm,
was just like, really? Like, and this was 2012. So it was like a different time. It was like
wild.
there was like no Instagram or anything like
I
that.
was like
So
a child.
yeah. Were you like 4?
Oh.
But it's so funny because, like you saying post the weird shit. Like, yeah, post the weird shit. Like do the styled shoot. Do like all that stuff. Like, like experiment with your friends. Like, like get like,
Mm,
like interesting photos. Like use like buy the lights, like get all that stuff and try new things because at the end of the day, you never know what could book you that first client or that 200th client or whatever. Like it's it's cool to
I
it's cool to see.
I'll venture to say even like that stuff is for me. Like
mm,
that's for me because like yes, it could get me clients for sure, but I still need to keep my brain
yeah.
moving. I still
Mhm.
need to like create for the sake of creating. And like in the off season when we have like a few months of nothing going on, I go insane.
Mm,
I go nuts because I always need to keep myself busy. Um, and when I don't have like clients to shoot, like I need to do something. And I did a couple of things last year that I was excited about, but I didn't see it to fruition. Like I didn't like create the series that I wanted to make. And so now I'm like, all right, I'm really going to set aside time to do a project, an actual like designated series of images that I can use and put on my walls in my own
mm,
house. Like making art for the sake of creating art. And I feel like that's so lost on some of us right now because we do this to survive and not
yeah.
necessarily for fun anymore. Um, and I still feel like I want to be in love with this. And sometimes that takes separating from it.
Yeah. Shooting for yourself will help you from burning out
Yeah.
at the end of the
Mhm.
day,
Yeah.
I
And,
see you
like
do it all the time, girl. Like with like the shoots you did in the desert and stuff like that. That's like you keep doing that stuff. Keep that fire going because like I feel like sometimes I fall out of love with this and I just did that like that canoe photo was from a styled shoot.
yeah,
That styled shoot reignited a fire in
I
me to
love
get
that.
more creative and like have fun and like that was a shoot I planned. It wasn't a workshop I attended or anything like that. Like I helped plan that. So it was really cool to put the pieces together and see that come to fruition and it like lit a fire underneath me. Like so like I think if you're struggling or you're thinking in your head like and this goes to everybody out there, try something for yourself or do something for yourself
Mhm.
and it might reignite that fire in you. You just never know.
Had you done many styled shoots before that one, or is this, like, one of your first?
S- First one I helped co-plan.
Mm,
I hadn't done one since 2019.
wild.
Yeah, like I did 2 for planners, and it was fun, but I just showed up and I took photos. So it was like, I had a say in this.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I had a vision, like the canoe shot was my vision. The location it's this place called Lily Pad Acres. It's just this gorgeous location out here on Long Island. It's like run by 2 incredible people. And they lend their space out. I photographed their wedding at this family farm.
Mm,
Like that it has been in their family for 300 years. It predate the country. And it was just like I saw it at their wedding day, and I was just like, I would love to do a styled shoot here. Oh my god! And so I worked with her and a planner to execute this vision. We came up with like all these ideas, and just to see it and execute it, we had like that creative team that I had. We had so much freaking fun that day. Like the models we had were amazing. They were a former couple of mine that like they were celebrating their 1 year anniversary. So it
mhm.
like all kind of came together, and it was just so incredible to be able to do that because the at the end of the day like I did like I said it like it reignited a fire but it was so satisfying to do and to pull off.
Yeah.
And I could see why people love doing them. And like, we have knocked on styled shoots a little bit, but like the only thing we've knocked on a styled shoot is just don't show it as a real wedding. Don't say it's a real wedding. Don't try to say like this was a oh my God, like, this couple, they showed their love and it was such a beautiful day. And like, look at this beautiful celebration. That's like, at the end of the day, it was a styled shoot. And I've repeatedly said that in the clips, like,
Mm.
like, hey, this was a styled shoot. This was the team. This was all this stuff. This is not a real wedding day. And like, that's the only thing I say about styled shoots. Like, do them. They're great. They're amazing for creativity, but just don't show them as a real wedding. Don't.
I see a lot of people too that go to like workshops and styled shoots and then they never credit any of the vendors. And I feel like the only reason they're doing that is either, I don't know, they're just weird and they hate crediting people, which there's people like that in the world. But also, I feel like they don't do it on purpose because they're like, oh, then people will know it was a workshop or people will know it was a styled shoot. It's like, dude, credit the freaking people in the photo. Like, I don't care if I have 3 paragraphs of text and
Yeah.
hashtags. If there's 20 wedding vendors, I'm putting all 20 of them in the main caption. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care how extra it is. I just feel like I don't know, it just feels like the right thing to do. Do you guys
It
credit your
is.
vendors in the caption?
Yes.
Amazing.
Always.
Amazing.
It's great marketing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like
There's
that's
no
like such a
downside to it.
That's how I
Why
feel.
wouldn't you tag vendors? Why wouldn't you share that? Like it's marketing 101.
If
Like
you had a terrible experience with that vendor, I understand. But if
Yeah.
you didn't and you're using, why not?
Yeah.
Unless it's for the reasons like you said, Summer, where they're trying to get away with passing it off as a
Yes.
real wedding when in all actuality is not.
Yeah.
that's
So
the only
again,
reason I could see nowadays. Like, why wouldn't you tag another vendor? Why wouldn't you share like with their audience?
Yeah.
what's the point?
I think it's purely because they want people to think that these are paying clients of theirs and they're not.
It's the fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but gosh, especially most of these people have already made it. So why are we faking it at this point? Just credit where
Truly,
credit's
I
due.
don't know. It is like the conundrum of the year for me. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Just as much as I'm confused about people who are like, this just happened to me on one of my TikToks. Somebody gave me shit for using the LCD screen instead of the electronic viewfinder.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
The thing is, I started shooting on like a DSLR, as most
Same.
people probably. And because there was no electronic viewfinder and I wanted to shoot in manual white balance, I actually shot with the screen like all the time on purpose. Maybe I look like a dweeb and people probably thought that I was doing video. But even when I first started, that's how I'd shoot because I'd have to go back and forth if not. And like look at the screen, make sure I like how the temperature looks, go back to the viewfinder. So I just always shot with the screen. And now that there are electronic viewfinders, I guess, okay, whatever, I could see my settings through it. But I'm so trained to look at the back of the camera that I shoot with the back of my camera almost fully unless I'm shooting film.
And I feel like a lot of people do, especially there's 2 options now.
Yeah.
You can use just because there's 2 options, you can.
Yeah. It's just
So why not?
It's a benefit. It gives
Some
you the
people
benefit.
wear glasses. Do you know how
Yeah.
annoying it is to hold your eyeballs up to
Yeah.
the EVF when you have glasses? Like,
Mhm.
and then there's going to be some idiot that's like, well, just wear contacts. Some people can't.
Yeah. Some people like I use a lot of the EVF because I just feel like I see better. But like
Yeah.
I'll do this like I don't know, like 10% of the time. But like who
I
the
switch
fuck
back
cares?
and forth.
Who cares how you hold
situationally.
your camera this way, that way, up, down,
such a
upside
petty
down?
thing.
Shoot with your left hand. Who cares?
I literally don't
strange
shoot
thing.
through the viewfinder unless I'm shooting film.
If anyone
like
has a
such an
problem with
odd-
that, like they're at the end of the day, you're a loser. You're a loser. You just like, and it's likely a 50-year-old that like took a photography class like 30 years ago, and they're bored out of their fucking mind, and they just want to hate on something to hate.
There's just like such a silly argument. Like we have so many other things to worry about as photographers, and like that's the thing that pisses you off is somebody shooting through the screen and not the viewfinder.
And clearly, if you were shooting through the screen, it was most likely for content. You know?
Yeah, it's just like, come on, bro. Like, just like stop it.
Odd.
Man.
But yeah, this industry is so like mean girl sometimes.
Yeah. And we see it because we get a lot of those mean girls coming in.
I think
And
it's
like
so
people
many
think
people,
we're the mean girls. We're not the
right?
mean girls, bro. We're
Yeah.
just we're the girls with the opinions. Yeah. Mean
Yes.
Yeah,
girls.
we have opinions, but we're not gonna shit all over yours.
Yeah, we
You have
never
your
say
opinion. We'll be like, you know what, valid.
Yeah.
Sure, good
great point. You know how many times we commented like I think like somebody and they have like the top, most liked comment. And we're like, yeah, that's a great point. Great point. Like
Fair
it's
point. You know what?
very fair. And then we'll talk about it on another episode. Like, stuff like that. That's what's cool is like we want to just have conversations. And like the industry lacks it. It's the photographic industry, the wedding photographer industry, the vendor industry, the wedding vendor industry lacks having candid conversations about things without people getting their fucking panties in a bunch and like, oh, like, okay, like you're allowed to have an opinion. That's the society today. Like have an opinion, give your opinion. You know what? If people disagree with it, okay, that's cool. Maybe it'll change your mind. Maybe it'll change your opinion. It has changed our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We trashed, I wouldn't say we trashed it, but like we talked about blurry photos. That was one of the clips that like it got like 5 million views and stuff like that. And we were like, the blur, it was like 2023. The blurry photo trend was happening. Everybody, like we were seeing, people are sending us galleries of like 70% blur. Like it looked like a toddler. It like took over, right?
And so many people were like, that doesn't happen. It's like people are sending us galleries.
Like we're seeing it. Like it's so literally clients sending us galleries. Like my photographer sent me back this. And we're like, yo, like, okay, like blur
There's no
with intention.
rhyme or reason to it. So we basically said like, we don't care if you take like blurry photos, but do it with intention. Like make sure that you're duplicating this in a way that's clear. So they have options. Like don't just give them a whole gallery of blur and make sure that the blur is intentional. Like it's representing movement or something, not like blurry details. What are we doing? Blurry details. Why are we doing that?
Yeah. Like
man,
Summer, do you do blurry details?
Let me think. I think people probably think I'm like hip and in with a lot of the trends more than maybe I even am, purely based off my photography style. Like I don't care for like a Dutch angle. Like, okay,
I
like it.
Let it fly, Summer.
People would expect me to, given my style of photography, but I like it when it's good. And I think maybe I'm not that skilled in making it good because I try and take a crooked photo and I see it and I'm like, man, it's freaking crooked. Like, what is going on? It doesn't look like, technically there's a right way to do a Dutch angle and it can be good. Oh God, but I think most of them are just crooked. They're not like,
damn it, Summer, you're right.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I had a gallery come back once, from someone from like a second, and so many were crooked. And I was like, if I see a freaking if I see one more crooked photo, I can't do it, because it's like at some point you can't straighten the image. Like sometimes they're so crooked, like compositionally, I can't just straighten it and crop it. Like it's just crooked. And I'm like, I can't handle this. Like I get that it's cool, but like it's not cool all the time. Maybe like 2 photos.
Yeah. I have no problem with crooked dance floor photos where you can't see the horizon, and stuff like that. But like if you have like, or like, it's a good backdrop where it's like like say you're shooting into a mountain and you just see the texture behind. Like if it's crooked, it's crooked. It might look cool, but anytime I see the horizon, I'm like looking like this. I'm like puppy dog. Lost puppy dog. You
want to know another opinion I have?
Let's
me
go,
more,
baby.
Summer
school. Let's go.
Okay, the photos I think I hate are like, bear with me, but technically really good photographers. The compositions are really good. I'm talking like lots of space and then maybe like a horizon, or like they're in the third perfectly, or I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it feels almost like 2005 compositions. Yes. And they're still really popular today. And there's still a lot of people that shoot this way. But for some reason, maybe me being younger, I don't know what it is, I see it and I just think it feels corny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I see a good composition, I'm like, okay, that was a good image. But sometimes I see it where it's like almost like too intentional. Like someone's like perfectly in the third and it like bothers me. Do you know what I mean?
So like what is it? Fibonacci spiral? Kind of like that composition. Like is that something that bothers you?
It could be anything. It's just like a way. It's just a way of
I know what you're talking about.
I
like where
see
it's
the photos and I'm like, I just don't like these. And technically, they're perfect. Like, they are technically perfect images, but
That's
I
why you don't
see
like them.
them or I hate ground space. Hate ground space. I do not like ground, like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean on that end where it's like
Yes.
lots of road and then a couple? No, I just want
Oh,
I
no,
just
I
want the
don't like
couple.
that.
I don't like the
Yeah.
road leading up. I
Like
don't.
headspace. I love headspace. Like
Yeah.
give me like more freedom up there. But like, yeah, that's
I don't
I
know.
know that feeling.
A bottom heavy
But
photo.
there's a whole
Yeah.
like genre of wedding photographers, mostly have been doing it for a long time, mostly older wedding photographers. And the compositions, I just don't like them. I think it's
Yeah.
like too by the book. Like it doesn't feel natural.
Yeah. I think that's but I think now you see a lot of couples not wanting that.
Mhm.
You know, they want more like kind of a free flow, kind of like,
Mhm.
a messy, more than
Yeah.
anything else. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you see the rise of film now because like Gen Z's getting married and they grew up with their parents taking
Yeah.
really shitty 35 mil photos, or point and shoots or like disposables.
Yeah.
And I see that more and more is that like kind of that I guess like that I don't want to say fall, but like that trend into like just the perfectly imperfect.
Mm.
Like it's very imperfect.
Yeah.
And I really love seeing that now. Like where, I love direct flash. I really do. And that's like a trend that people hate. And like I did not like it. And then I started doing it. And I'm like, yo, I kind of like this.
Were
It's kind
you
of
like a
fun.
multi-setup, like off-camera flash guy
Bro, oh my
before?
god. I went to film school, so I went to be a filmmaker. So I learned three-point lighting. I learned, like how to get creative with lighting. I used a lot of like when I first started, a lot of LED. I used like all
Mm.
that stuff more than flash. And then like, all of a sudden I was just like, all right, playing around with my flash one day and I was like, this looks kind of cool. And I was just like, oh damn, I kind of like this.
You're
So
like, "I just wasted so much time."
like, it's so funny, like, because Lauren and I talk about it all the time because we still do off-camera flash. I do off-camera flash all the time.
Mm.
And, like, especially, like, like, on an engagement shoot or something like that where I have the time and, like, I like to get creative with, like, zooming my flash and using modifiers and things like that. But at the same point, like, like, the couples aren't gravitating to that as much. So,
Mhm.
and when you're in a business of serving clients, you at the end of the day, while you want to create art, you create art, like do it. Like, but at the end of the day, is it putting food on the table? Is your art that you're creating that you're so hell bent on like being an artist? Is that putting food on the table to people that are trying to book you? Because, like at the end of the day, I do this full time. This is something I use to support my family and all that stuff. So I'm gonna look into these things and yeah, I might not like it at first, but maybe give it a try and
Yeah.
see what
It's a
happens.
fine line.
I never
That's a fine
technically
line.
answered on blurry photos. I don't think I take that many blurry photos. I think sometimes I have clients who really want them and I have to get myself to take more blurry photos. Like I have to
Yeah.
be like, Summer, you should do this. I take like if a couple's running and I'm
Right.
trying to get them in focus and like the background blurry, that kind of thing. That's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
But details, maybe if I can get something in focus. Like if it's more of like a spin, like a radial blur, not just like the whole
Yeah.
thing blurry. If the whole thing's blurry, I just why? Why is it blurry?
What's the point?
What is the
Yeah.
point?
What's the point of the
Exactly.
photo?
It doesn't make any sense.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense whatsoever. So like
No,
especially if
yeah.
you like these people spend a lot of money on that stuff, and like I think you should probably take a clean photo of
Yeah.
it. Like and yeah, experiment, get weird and shit like that. But like at the end of the day, I think, if a person spends like $5,000 on invitations and they can't see or read their invitation, I don't think you did your job kind of thing. But
Okay. This leads me, I have to share this with you
okay.
guys because you might disagree with me. This leads me to a thought and take that I've had that I think I've only shared privately. But
Okay.
I personally think that if a black and white photo isn't good enough to be in color, should it be in the gallery in black and white?
No.
Shit, Summer.
Like, I feel like so many
That's
wedding
a hot
photographers,
take,
they just
girl.
put photos in black and white because they're like, ooh, because low-key, it's because it sucked in color. It's not because it was actually a good black and white image. It was because they just wanted to include it for some godforsaken reason. Who knows why? It's not good enough to be there in color. When the client wants it in color, you're going to end up having to edit this horrible image in color and deliver this crappy piece of work.
If I can't deliver it in color, it's out of the gallery.
That's how I feel. I agree.
Wow. I think I'm with you, but I have thrown in some trash ones in black and white. Like
I think we
definitely
all
have.
do in the beginning. We're like,
Yeah.
well, it's pretty good, but it's really only good in black and white. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Do you shoot with
Is it
intention for
actually
black
good
and white
enough
though?
then?
Like, do you like, okay, like, so like sometimes I do like backlit dance floor, knowing full well
Knowing it'll look
It's-
better in black and white.
I know it's going to look better in black and white. So
Yeah.
like, would you do that?
I think that there's a fine difference between like really intentionally taking a black and white image and most wedding photographers who put just really bad photos in the gallery because it looks cool in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Fair point. I love this.
yeah.
I like it.
I
Yeah,
don't-
that's a summer school hot takes. I love it.
Yeah, I just
I'm into it because I
I'm into
agree. I agree. I will not, like, we've made jokes about it. Like, oh, well, if it's kind of out of focus, you could just like make
Throw
it
it in
black and white, slap
See?
some grain on it, and it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, made jokes about it, but I do not do that in practice. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Well, and I
dude?
do think sometimes you're going to have a client who might be like, oh, that's a really cool photo. I want that in color. And I've had that happen, years ago when I was just like, well, it looks cool in black and white. I'm just going to put it in the gallery. And that's just not good for you. You don't want to end up having to deliver this thing with like horrible like LED dance floor lighting that like looks like trash
Yeah.
purely because you sent it to them in black and white.
Mhm.
Not worth it.
100%.
Man, well, you guys, tell me one of your favorite hot takes in case they haven't heard something on the episode to end us out.
Lauren,
Our
what do you-
favorite hot
What
takes.
is like something you're most passionate about?
Damn.
She laughs.
I laugh because I'm passionate about everything.
Or what
the
is something
latest-
that you feel like people will likely disagree with you on?
I hate proposals.
Oh God.
I can agree with you on that, actually.
I hate proposals. I hate them. I don't like.
It's more stress than a wedding.
It is. It's so stressful. I genuinely do not shoot them anymore. I don't like to do it. I think it's more stress than it's worth.
Yeah.
And it's always like some elaborate proposal that requires like some serious amount of like planning that I'm just like, that's not what I'm about. Like,
and they always want it like low key on a budget. It was just a proposal. Oh, it'll
Right.
be quick.
or
It's
they
like,
email you with like
and?
3 days to spare. And you're like,
Yeah.
you're
And it's
asking
on a
me
Saturday
for
in
a
the
proposal on
middle
a
of, like-
Saturday in the
Yeah.
middle of September. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're crazy, dude. To a
It's
wedding
insane.
photographer.
I don't like shooting proposals. And I also think that they don't need to be this elaborate fucking thing. That
Yeah,
they
we have an episode
become.
coming out tomorrow. So like I know your episode will come out way later. But she literally like
I
ranted on
trashed it.
proposals for like
I went
don't
so
know, 15
hard.
minutes.
And I didn't realize I was going to take it in that direction until I was already in it. And I was just like, you know what?
I've
I've
already
had it
said
with
it.
them.
Yeah.
I don't like them. While we're on the topic, fuck proposals.
Yeah.
I honestly think I've maybe only shot a handful of proposals because
And
most
Sarah
people
like
find
'em.
me from social media. So since I
Mhm.
never had a local base, there wasn't this draw for people to have me for their proposal because they were already engaged when they were finding me,
Yeah.
or they don't live anywhere near where I lived. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the only ones I have shot, I've been like, oh, this feels like they only want like 30 minutes, and I don't do short sessions. I only do like 2 to 3 hour things. I don't do anything
Yeah.
lower. So I was like, oh, they just want like an hour thing, and then they want a discount. And I was just like, this is an annoying thing to shoot. Was how it
Yeah.
felt for me. Like artistically, it's not artistic.
I
Yeah,
also just
I-
think
Yeah.
in general, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, go
Just
ahead.
one more thought. I just think in general, they've become such a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm not about that life. I really
Mm.
just do think that a proposal should be like simple and between the two people involved. That's just me, maybe being old fashioned. Like I'm not very old fashioned about many things, I swear. But this is one of those things where I'm just like, you've created this experience for everyone. It's
Yeah.
not just the person that you're proposing to. And I think I don't like it. For some reason, it makes me feel icky.
Me and Jake, we were camping, and he had like a group of 14-year-olds follow us on like a hike walk. and like record us with their iPhone. So we didn't have any pro photos. You know, in hindsight, I'm like, okay, maybe like a couple like decent photos would have been good because they like really kept their distance on their iPhones, like zoomed in. But we had something, and that's all that really matters. And
Right.
yeah,
I recorded my own on my Mark II back in the day.
fun.
Like just like legitimately just recorded a video for me and my wife. It was private, on the beach, stuff like that. Lauren loves beach proposals, by the way.
Cute.
But
yeah.
Mike, what's yours? What's your hot take? I've spoken enough on this.
I feel like we've talked a lot about them, like the crooked horizons, like blur without intention, stuff like that. I see a lot of educators with Facebook ads that they are selling a course to make six figures and all this stuff, and
we talked about this in New York.
Like it's just
six figures is baseline.
It's baseline, especially in our areas. I know you're in LA, we're in New York. You need to make six figures. Now it's and I feel like
if all I hit was six figures, if the business, because it's always like, we'll get your business to this. I'm like, okay, if the business hit six figures, like I'm barely making enough to like eat food. I might not be able to make enough to eat food. If we're talking a business that's like spending money,
home like $35,000.
Yeah, that is not enough to live in LA.
No, it's so I see like it's like like wanting to make like a photographer wanting to make six figures, or like these people trying to prey on these younger photographers or these newer photographers. It's like, like, oh, you could do this and make six figures. You could do this and make six figures. And it's like, okay, like that's cool. But like, are you teaching them about taxes? Are you teaching them about this? Are you teaching them about that? Like, I don't know. Cause I don't take those, I would never take those courses. I just feel like you could learn more through YouTube channels for free, like, and certain things, or like join a really good network, like summer school, for instance. Cause I've talked to some of your students, like, and they rave about how you do things. But like, I feel like there's a lot of like, the other thing was like, I know Josh made this point. He made this point on our show, and I believe he made it on your show, but I'm full in agreement with him. Like, I swear, like I can't stand these educators that just don't do that. They're not shooting anymore. They are out there. They're flaunting their business plans and all this stuff on marketing tactics that are 5 to 7 years old. And like, they haven't shot a wedding in 5 to 7 years. Weddings have changed so much. And that's the part that I'm like, I don't love that. So
I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened?
The dog has entered the chat.
To make a cameo. You're so large.
Man,
mine's on my table.
I totally agree. I think we were talking about this literally over drinks in New York, and it was like, man, the day I stop educating is hopefully the day I stop the day I stop shooting is hopefully the day I stop teaching. But what I love you,
girlie. I love that
about summer school is that I'm not shooting much this fall. I mean, I'm literally spending all of fall in summer school. I don't think we have a wedding this fall. Like that was my plans. We have a kid. I need to be home. And I do feel like I used to look at people who like were teaching. I'm like, you're not even shooting any weddings. And people might see me now and be like, what is she doing? But what I do like about summer school is I'm not teaching you how to make six figures or like how to run a Facebook ad, because at the end of the day, you can find that on YouTube. But like, this is where you can grow as an artist, take classes, have feedback, engage with other people. Like, I really enjoy it so much better than what I think I used to think teaching looked like. And it was like just how to get people to book work. And I'm like, that is so boring. Like, and also, man, I don't mind if someone's teaching, if they have something cool to say on like lighting or whatever, and they haven't shot maybe a wedding that year.
Yeah,
but
same.
It's when they're teaching on business. That's when I don't like it. You know,
that's at the end of the day, that's like my hot take. It's the business side of anything. Like, you can still be a great photographer, take great photos, know so much great lighting and all that stuff, and all these tips, tricks, and those are great things to learn about. But it's the business side more than anything else.
Technique versus business.
And most people, the reason they're teaching on business is because they couldn't make enough in their own business. That's why they're teaching.
Ooh, hot take, Summer Grace. Ooh,
that hot take has gone across the board. Josh Huggett said the same thing.
Yeah.
We've said the same thing. Who else has said it?
Every time I see a class with some ads, I'm like, okay, so does that mean that their photography business failed? Like,
yeah. It's listen, girlie. Like, we feel the same way. It's like, and like, listen, shout out to those educators out there that are crushing it and doing great, and like they built a business on it and stuff like that. Like, I don't think they're insincere one bit. I just like, if I were me, I would not be taking that course. Like, like that's just not me. I would want to know, like, are you still active in doing this? Like that'd be if I'm a new student, if I'm a student, like a potential student, that'd be the first thing I ask. Be like, are you still actively photographing weddings? When was the last wedding you photographed? Like that's just me. Like now to today. Like if I know if I'm going to take a class, I'm going to take it from like Jose Villa or somebody like that. Like, boom, I know he's shooting weddings.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
So true. Man, well, this has been so much fun, you guys. I came into this episode for everyone listening with like, I'm going to figure out a whole plan for having them on. I was like, you know what? Screw it. We had such good banter. Let's just chat and see what happens. And this has been a blast. This has been so good. I've shared a lot of my opinions. You guys, you brought it out of me.
Good.
But
love that, Summer.
Tell everyone where they can find you. Oh, I'm so down.
Gotta get you on our show, girlie.
Bring me out. I just know.
We'll make that happen.
I just need to get back to New York. I think build needs to happen every year or something.
Yeah, we'll get to, like, even if we're starting more virtuals. So like, maybe we'll just do a virtual with you if you can't make it out here. But we got to get you on our show.
Hey,
like, unleash those Summer Gray's hot takes.
Hey, I'm here for it. I feel like I actually have a decent amount. I just don't share them.
Love that.
But yeah,
it's okay.
I think everyone does, and it's good to have opinions, and it's good to like know that, everyone's gonna have different opinions. That's what's cool. It makes the industry diverse. But where can people go ahead and tell everyone, for everyone listening audio wise, tell me where everyone can find you guys that is maybe not aware. Explain the vendor table just to wrap us up too, because maybe some people are like, what is this thing that they keep referencing? In case people don't know, I'm sure all of you literally already know, but in case you don't, go ahead and explain that to everyone and tell everyone where they can find you personally as well, since you guys are like incredible artists as well as podcasters.
Go ahead, Lauren.
The vendor table.
Yeah.
It is.
It's a podcast about the chaos, thrill, and hilarity of the wedding industry from two wedding photographers based out of Long Island, New York.
And where can they find you, Lauren?
You can find me at LaurenO'BrienPhoto.com and Lauren O'Brien Photo and the Feral Photog on Instagram and TikTok. Where can they find you, Mike?
At Michael Cassara Photo on Instagram, TikTok, as well as my website. You could find the vendor table on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's just at the vendor table pod everywhere where you get all that stuff. We drop episodes every Tuesday. And yeah, that's us.
So fun. We drop episodes on the same day. You guys go binge us on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
So fun. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. For everyone listening, if you are still here, go ahead and click follow if you're not already following. If you're on Spotify, I don't know if you can follow on other things, but leave us a rating, review, or share this with a friend. Say you agreed with some of the opinions. Go ahead and shoot that over to them, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.